Genesis chapter 15 and verse 13. The Bible says here, God is speaking to Abraham, and he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. The children of Israel are prophesied, it is prophesied that they're going to spend 400 years in captivity. After that 400 years of captivity, towards the end of that 400 years of captivity, God brings a man on the scene by the name of Moses. And Moses is the man that is going to lead the children of Israel out of Egypt, and he's going to lead them to see the promised land. He's going to lead them to see the promised land. Now, Moses is allowed to see the promised land, but he is not permitted to continue on. In Deuteronomy 31, beginning with verse 1, the Bible says, and Moses went and spake these words unto all Israel. He said unto them, I am 120 years old. I can no more go out or come in. And also the Lord has said unto me, thou shalt not go over this Jordan. The Lord thy God, he will go before thee, and he will destroy the nations before thee, and thou shalt possess them. And Joshua, he shall go over before thee, as the Lord has said. So I want you to note here that Moses is allowed to see the promised land, but he is not permitted to continue on. In fact, there is going to be a transition of power where Joshua is the one that will lead the children of Israel into the promised land. Deuteronomy 31 verse 7, the Bible says, and Moses called unto Joshua and said unto him in the sight of all Israel, be strong and of good courage, for thou must go with this people unto the land which the Lord has sworn unto their fathers to give them, and thou shalt cause them to inherit it. And the Lord, he it is that doth go before thee. He will be with thee. He will not fail thee, neither forsake thee. Fear not, neither be dismayed. So there's a transition of power from Moses to Joshua. This transition takes place at the Jordan. I'm laying the foundation for you. I want you to understand clearly the process which we are following in preparing for what we will read in Joshua chapter 7. So we're now in the book of Joshua, and in Joshua chapter 1, the Bible says, now after the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord, it came to pass that the Lord spake unto Joshua, the son of Nun, Moses, saying, Moses minister, saying, Moses, my servant, is dead. Now therefore arise, go over this Jordan, thou and all this people, unto the land which I do give them, even to the children of Israel. Every place that the sole of your foot shall tread upon, that have I given unto you, as I said unto Moses. So we're now in Joshua chapter 1. Moses has passed the baton to Joshua. There's a transition of power from Moses to Joshua at the Jordan. And in Joshua chapter 3, we'll find that Joshua crosses the Jordan. And then we get to Joshua chapter 4, and notice what Joshua chapter 4, verse 1 and 2 say. It came to pass, when all the people were clean passed over the Jordan, that the Lord spake unto Joshua, saying, take you 12 men out of the people, out of every man a tribe, and command ye them, saying, take you hence out of the midst of Jordan, out of the place where the priest's feet stood firm, 12 stones, and you shall carry them over with you, and leave them in the lodging place where you shall lodge this night. On that day, the Lord magnified Joshua in the sight of all Israel, and they feared him as they feared Moses all the days of his life. We are now in Joshua chapter 4. We started in Genesis chapter 15, where we found the prophecy of the children of Israel spending 400 years of captivity in Egypt. At the end of that 400 years, you have Moses coming on the scene. Moses is going to lead the children of Israel to see the promised land. Moses leads them to the promised land, but is not allowed to continue thereon. There's a transition of power from Moses to Joshua. Joshua chooses 12 men to take these stones as memorials. Then we get to Joshua chapter 6. Joshua goes to battle against Jericho. So this is, and we know the story. There's a loud shout, Jericho falls, and the children of Israel defeat Jericho. That's Joshua chapter 6. In Joshua chapter 7, Joshua and the children of Israel are now going to battle against a place called Ai. And you know that the first time they go up against Ai, they lose the battle. Someone has stolen a Babylonian garment. They lose the battle. Joshua cries out to the Lord. They handle their business. The Lord shows them what happened. And then in Joshua chapter 8, they're going to go fight one more time with Ai, and they will defeat Ai. So that is a total of 3 times that Joshua is engaged in conflict. We're now in Joshua chapter 8, and I want you to notice what the Bible says here. And all Israel and their elders and officers and their judges stood on this side of the ark and on that side before the priests and Levites, which bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord, as well as a stranger, as well as them that were born among them, half of them over against Mount Gerizim, and half of them over against Mount Ebal, as Moses, the servant of the Lord, had commanded before, that they should bless the people of Israel. And afterward, he read all the words of the law, the blessings and cursings, according to all that is written in the book of the law. And so, 400 years of captivity, Moses leads the people to see the promised land. He sees the promised land, but is not able to continue on. There's a transition of power from Moses to Joshua at the Jordan. Joshua is going to lead the children of Israel into the promised land. He chooses the 12 men who take the 12 stones. He goes into battle against Jericho, and then against Ai, and then against Ai again. And then he does something that Moses had commanded him to do before they had crossed the Jordan. And that was, he was going to take the 12 tribes of Israel, put half of them over against Mount Gerizim and the other half upon Mount Ebal. And he was to read blessings and curses on both mountains. Mount Gerizim is where he would read the blessings, and Mount Ebal is where he would read the curses. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and take a look at the blessings spoken in Deuteronomy chapter 28. This is where the blessings are recorded. So let's go to the blessings. If God said blessing to you, looked at you and said blessed one time, how many of you would agree that that would make your entire life worth living? I want you to notice Deuteronomy 28, verse 3. Blessed shalt thou in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field. Verse 4. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, and the increase of thine kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. If God says, blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field, that pretty much covers everything. If you're blessed in the city and you're blessed in the field, that covers blessings everywhere. Everywhere you go, you're going to be blessed. Because, beloved, those 2 blessings cover every possible way you could be blessed. And yet God goes on. Listen to what he says. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thine kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Blessed shall be thy basket and thy store. Blessed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and blessed shalt thou be when thou goest out. The Lord shall command the blessing upon thee in thy storehouses, and in all that thou settest thine hand unto do, and he shall bless thee in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Verse 12, the Lord shall open unto thee his good treasure, and the heaven to give the rain unto the land in his season, and to bless all the work of thine hand, and thou shalt lend unto many generations, and shall not borrow. 9 times God uses the word blessings for his people. How many of you would give anything for those 9 blessings?